I even got a good intro for you too, man. All right, let's kick
What?
this. Yes, let's kick this off. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday night, January 12th, and that means only one thing: the Riley and Constant Show with Steve Brown, presented by the Sportscast. If you haven't yet, please subscribe on all of our channels: YouTube, Periscope, iTunes, and now Spotify. If you're on YouTube, hit like and subscribe right now. If you're on iTunes, please leave a rating and review. Also, visit us on the sportscast.net for all of our up to date sports news. And if you have an iPhone, download our new app. This episode is brought to you by Ken Darby of Driven Real Estate Solutions LLC. They are local professional home buyers that pay cash for houses in any condition, price range, or location. Yes, you can sell your home fast and relieve your stress to regain peace of mind. You can visit Ken and his team at www.drivenrealestatesolutions.com. I'm your host, over the hill powerlifter and 2003 Bama grad, Justin Riley. With me, as always, is the man who is an Alabama legend, all SEC linebacker, two-time author, and when Ric Flair said to be the man, woo, you got to beat the man, he is that man, Marvin Constant.
Justin, thank you. Hey, man, I couldn't ask for a better intro. I got all my money. I didn't lose none this weekend. So we on top of the game, baby.
That's
Here he
what's
going this.
up.
Oh
Here
man,
he going.
there you go.
Here
Right,
he going
Here we
here.
go. Here we
there you
go.
go. Start.
Now, for the third member of our team, he's appeared on BET's Comic View, the Bad Boys of Comedy. He's the host of Yeah, We Talk Like This, and a distinguished member of Omega Sci-Fi, comedy legend Steve Brown.
Hey man, what up, man? I am so happy to be here, man. Hey, dude, I am excited. And you know what, man? I made history because this time I'm on time. I'm on time. I'm on time.
And your camera ain't on. Your camera not on. You over there in your tighty whiteys, man. That's all you got on.
It
Hey
took a
man, don't do that.
championship.
Let me cut my camera. I thought my camera was on.
It took a championship to get him here on time, but hey, we'll take it. Well, Marvin, we
Hey,
had
Justin, he over there in some tighty whiteys and a dusty wife beater with them yellow stains under the armpit. That white camera ain't on.
By the way, the Mr. Charles Tidy Wise are now available in our gift shop. Check that out. Marvin, while we wait for some other guests to come on, please go ahead and introduce the man we have with us right now. Really excited about this young man. Let us know who he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, when I say R&B superstar, sensation himself drives all the ladies crazy. Man, when I say hit after hit has gone on tour with the likes of Jagged Edge and many more, he has so much more to do though, because he's still young in the game. So I'm expecting big things from this fella, man, the one and only Demarious Cole.
Hey,
What's up, man?
Hey, hold on. Wait a minute, hold on. I'm not. Hey, Marvin, I gotta give him a truthful intro. You gave him
Oh man.
intro that sounds pretty decent, but let me give him a truthful intro. All right, this young man, he's been all over the country doing this thing. When I tell you, he is one of the most underrated artists you've ever seen. If you see him perform live, if you hear him sing, I guarantee you will become a fan. Ladies and gentlemen, on our show, to bring the ladies and my mama, go on, mama, Demarious Cole. Man, she done got her mama.
Man, appreciate that intro from both the OGs, man. Thank y'all for having me on the show. I just can't wait to have fun with you guys and soak
Yes,
this
sir.
all up, man. Thank y'all so much. Steve, tell your mom I love her too.
Hey, don't do that. Don't do that, man. She done just poured. She done just came out of one of her cups. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Appreciate y'all for having me, man.
Man, yes, sir. This is what the show is all about.
Hey man, So Justin,
What's up?
we national champions, man.
We did again, and Pete Golden showed up last night. Let's talk
showed
about
up.
that to kick this thing off. Pete Golden, hey, Pro Throw last week called it and said that he was going to have a good game coaching, and it looks like we made him look good, or he made us look good. So let's talk about Pete.
Hey man, let me tell you something, man. Marvin, I'm kind of back. I got 1 foot off that bandwagon, that Pete Golden. Get rid of Pete Golden bandwagon. I got 1 foot. Why? Because he really had the defense prepared. It was all the way off until they scored in 3 plays. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Let me put my feet back on this damn bandwagon. So right now, man, I don't know what his future is at Bama, man, but I'm leaning towards letting them go another season and see what happens, man. Because we got our whole defense back, man, and the guys should know the scheme now, and we're just gonna see what happens,
Steve, even a broke clock is right twice a day. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. Okay.
Hey Marvin, you know what?
He had a decent game. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But I need to see a consistent pattern of success.
Marvin, you know what though, man? That term about the broke clock, you are definitely right. And that was a sign that I shouldn't have gone to Stillman, because they got the library at Stillman and they got a clock on all 4 sides. Why was it all 4 of them bitches? All 4 sides was wrong. So, and I went anyway. So I should have went on the shelter like I was supposed to. But yeah, man, but I would. He did a really good job on Ohio State, man, and I would give him Justin, Marvin. I know Marvin, you and I, we like this when it comes to Golden.
I'm gonna give him a 7 for the game.
Yeah.
You know what? I was gonna say I'd give him a B-.
I give him a 7 out of 10, which is about the same thing.
Now,
D-Cole, what would you give?
I was just thinking about that. That's a hard 6.5. Just because I felt like Ohio State was somebody that I just felt like they knew that game plan. They knew Justin Fields was all they had. They knew if they could just stop Justin Fields and stop his momentum, that the game would be over immediately. Just like I feel like if they were playing Clemson, it would be a way harder game for him to game plan against Clemson. It was way too easy against Justin Fields. I feel like as soon as he stopped his momentum on that second drive, I think he had, that they got stopped like in a red zone. After that drive, it was downhill for the Bama defense. They could have just easily stopped them and shut them down the whole game. So I got to give him a 6.5. It was too easy for him. He could have did it. Anybody could have did it. I think Marvin could have got there and coached those guys to beat.
Yeah, you know what though?
Yep.
You know what? Let me say this, man. I'm looking at the whole brand of football right now. I'm looking at everything. If the way Bama was playing last night and the way Clemson got exposed, if Bama had played Clemson, they would have probably beat Clemson worse. Bama was all focused.
Now, I will say this though. If you notice, Justin Fields, he was grimacing the whole night. He was
the whole game. Yeah,
he was hurt.
But
you know what? No, you know what? He was grimacing after, I think it was Dylan Moses and what's the freshman name? Hit him at the same time.
Tim Smith.
Will Anderson.
Anderson. Now let me say this too, man. Everybody talk this Trey Sermon. Did y'all see the hit Dylan Moses? That's what I said. Dylan Moses must have got a bionic knee or something.
Them boys was out there eating. They were playing for some real life jobs out there. That was real right there.
Yeah. So you know what, man? Justin, let me say this. After watching this game, they have to put this term to bed about Ohio State being an SEC team, but they are not. They are not. Dude, let me tell you something. All night long, y'all, Ohio State was taking time off because their players were hurt. Not one Bama player went down as far as being hurt. Now Smitty, of course, that's a finger. We understand it. But not one player from Bama went down with cramps, getting rolled over. They even got desperate and tried to twist Najee Harris's ankle.
Yeah.
They're playing dirty. They knew they were going to lose.
Yeah,
you can't beat them. You try to hurt them.
But from a physical standpoint, that's where we won the battle the entire night. And it really wasn't doubt at all during the entire game, even when Smitty went down and they scored early in the second half. It's just they couldn't match our physicality. And for people trying to promote that, the talent's the same, and like you said, they're the SEC of the North. No, the physicality is definitely not there. Look at Christian Barmore. There was no answer for it. I didn't see anybody look like him on that side of the ball.
Hey, listen,
Nobody.
Christian Barmore did what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. Hey, that boy put some money in his pocket.
Yes,
hey man,
he just went
another thing, I'm gonna say this too, man. I'm gonna say this. What made me convinced, and you got the picture behind you. What's the tackle's name? He's about to leave. What's his name?
Alex Leatherwood.
Look at that picture behind you. His arm is bigger than Nick Saban's waist.
Yeah.
That's a big boy.
It's a big boy.
Man, they all big. Yeah.
And you know what, man? You know what? Now I know some of y'all may beg to differ, but I'm gonna tell you who really looked good last night, man. Brian Robinson. Brian was
can run hard.
He needs to come back for another year. He needs to come back for another year to go up his stock draft, bro.
If he was smart, that's what he would do. He would come because Najee is leaving.
It's gone,
yeah, but that running back room is going to be crowded next year, though.
No, but Brian Robinson is going to be the back. He has to be. I understand we got some young talent, but Brian Robinson is that guy. He is that guy.
But hey, you gonna have to make a decision. You know, do you roll the dice or you come back? The option is there. So
I would come back.
I want to bring up a point. You know, we've asked this question in the past few weeks. Did the playoff committee get it right? To be honest, it didn't matter because this entire season it was Bama versus everyone else. It was basically Bama and everybody else was fighting for second place. What do you think really caused this separation?
Time out. Let me answer this question first.
You see how he do it, Uncle Steve? You see how he do it?
He does. He just cuts us off.
No. I want to start out by saying something. Most people on this planet will never understand what it feels like to play 7 or 8 SEC games, let alone an all SEC schedule. That in itself is brutal. I think back to when I was playing. You got Tennessee one week, Ole Miss the next, Florida the next. Then you had a little off team. We played Houston here and there, Southern Miss here and there. That's when you recuperated. There was no recuperation weeks this season. You played 10 SEC schools. Unheard of to go undefeated, and you still took out Notre Dame, and you still took out Ohio State. I'm going to give them greatest team in college football history, hands down. And I don't care who the committee had to put in there with them. They could have put the Falcons in there with them. Them boys were going to work them
over. Marvin, I know you being sarcastic.
Matt Ryan over the hill, man. Matt Ryan washed up.
They would have beat the Falcons. They would have beat the Falcons.
Yeah. That's where Matt Jones is going anyway.
Look, hey, man, honestly, man, I was so into that game. Marvin, I promise you, it's been years since I played football. But I know I got to go to you with this one. When they was coming out of that tunnel, did you not have butterflies?
Oh yeah, them boys came out that tunnel with that smoke. Them boys, they were pumped.
Hey man, I had butterflies, knowing I wasn't gonna get in the game. I mean, coming back in.
Man, what got me?
I could tell they were ready though.
Yeah.
What got me was when Landon Dickerson let him out of that tunnel, fully dressed out. That was an incredible moment.
That was the most class act I've ever seen. Nick Saban let him get his final snap, man.
Yeah, that was perfect. Well, what do you think, man? What separated us from the rest of the pack this entire year?
I honestly just think this. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I thought he said D. He said C. I'm sorry.
No, I said D. Okay.
I think honestly that it's a different breed of athlete that comes to Alabama. Those guys are just more hungry. They're just more ready. I just feel like Nick Saban has them more ready than any other team that they go against. I didn't see Clemson even standing against. I didn't even think Clemson could even play with them this year. I just knew Alabama was on a whole nother field, whole nother planet this year. I would like to see a bigger playoff. I would like to see more like an 8-team playoff. That way, we can see Alabama and Clemson knock it down if they do so, or a little team like a Texas or something comes in and makes their way in to make it more interesting. Because other than that, I don't see Alabama being beat for another 3 or 4 years. That team is just too good.
Excuse me, man.
And I can't say it.
Yeah, my mama trying to put her breast in the phone. No, just keep talking.
Man, that's happened.
She's
That's
trying to
happened
put her
3 times this year, Steve. I thought you had that under control, man. What
trying
is
to
this
put her
all,
titty in the phone. Don't do
man?
that, mama. Mom, don't do that. I'm gonna tell the church members. I promise you, I'm gonna tell the church members.
And the deacon board too.
Hey, man. I do have one concern.
Yeah.
That concern to me, and Marvin, I don't know if you peeped it. John Michie he has to hold on to the ball, bro. If I noticed when somebody is really covering him tight, he drops the ball. He drops the ball. But it's like you can be draped over a Jalen Waddle. You can be draped over a Smith. You can be draped over our tight end. What's his name? The young guy.
Billingsley.
Really, he's a hybrid.
Billingsley.
He's really a hybrid wide receiver because he's real big.
Yeah, he talking about Billingsley.
Got to stop. Yeah, but Michie, man, he keep dropping passes, bro. He I don't know about that. He got to work on that.
Well, you got to realize too, a lot of his playing time came this season when Waddle got hurt. So it's not like he was getting a lot of reps early in the year. So maybe that was it. It's a timing issue. We'll see. But now, he has to step up because with Devontae leaving, Najee leaving, Mac leaving, it's next man up. Next, who's going to step up and fill these roles? Because, again, the train doesn't stop. All we doing is putting gas in it and keep it moving.
Yes, sir.
Man, you know what? And I'm hearing through the grapevine and reading. I mean, you talk about Smith, you talk about Waddle and the rest of them. But from what I understand, Bama got some dog receivers coming up, about to step up.
Yeah, and they signed an amazing group of receivers coming out of high school.
Those dudes are, man.
Okay. So this is another concern I have. Marvin, you probably know about this guy, and you probably do too. But who is this offensive coordinator they're talking about? Is he as good as Sark? Is he pretty good?
Bill, you talking about Bill O'Brien?
He's one of the guys being mentioned. Yeah.
Well, you know who Bill O'Brien? Well, he used to coach for the Patriots. He was the Texans head coach, the one who just got fired from the Texans.
Yeah.
I know. I heard, but I'm saying, is he a good OC? Because I'm hearing that he's the man, but then again, I've never heard of him. Well, I mean, I know he was a terrible head coach, but I'm just saying,
Well, this is what I'm gonna say. When he was in New England, you had Tom Brady, so that's it. That you can't judge somebody off their coaching skills if they coaching Tom Brady because he's on the field doing what he want to do anyway. So it ain't like you got to do much.
Yeah, not a whole lot of innovation happens there.
Exactly. I mean, Tom see what Tom see. He gonna make the appropriate calls.
But you know what? But you got to understand this too, though. You got him coaching kids from Bama, so it's the same thing. Because I mean, you gonna like, for instance, Sark came in with a big basket of talent. Now, do you think he's gonna get those same results in Texas?
The one thing I'll say about Sark is he shows you he's that mind. He knows how to create the matchups that he wants. And he has never shown you his full playbook. You think about it. The one play when you seen Devontae, he went in motion, came deep in the backfield, and then he turned right. Have you seen him run that play all year?
No.
You seen Sark pull out plays in this game you ain't seen all year. So he's great at creating the matchups that he wants. And, he gets guys in space. And when he gets his guy in space, there ain't nothing you can do with that. So, he might not have the weapons that he wants at Texas now, but he'll get them. And when he gets them, he knows how to use them. And the one thing I said when I seen he was going to Texas, I said, yeah, we're going to see him again real soon.
Mm-hmm.
Don't we open up with them in 2 years?
Do we?
I think we do.
Yeah, we open up. We open up with Miami this
in Atlanta
season,
next year.
and then we open up with him the following year.
Yeah.
Where's that game at?
I think it's going to be in Texas.
Texas is a home and home, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, you want to go to Austin?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I'm there. Let's do it.
I love it in Austin. Trust me. I love it in Austin.
I never been, but I love to go to Austin,
nice.
man.
It's nice.
So,
hey man, the thing is, but Marvin, I'm praying the same thing. Hopefully, when we do see him in Austin, hopefully we'll have a better DC. Let's put it like this. But we have a better defense coordinator, or Golden had probably, we'll see. I'm giving him one more year, man.
Well, Freddie Roach to step in. That's what I'm thinking. Hey, what are the biggest things that
Freddie Roach, the defensive line coach at Alabama? He the D-line coach.
What is it? What? I know. What you saying? He might end up at defense coordinator. Know what you saying?
Freddie's a good coach, though, man.
He's a real good coach.
Yeah,
but being a defensive coordinator, though.
I put it like this: the reason why I'll say Freddie will probably be successful at it because Freddie played middle linebacker. When you play middle linebacker, you have to truly understand the game of football because not only are you setting that front and adjusting that front, you got to adjust that coverage behind you. Somebody go in motion, you got to make the appropriate checks and audibles, and you got less than a second to make them calls on the field. So, middle linebackers are basically quarterbacks of the defense, man. So your mind has to process information so fast. So, I think Freddie would be great at defensive coordinator just from that standpoint. If he had that, he played linebacker, he had to see it and adjust on the fly in game time.
Right.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you, man. So I think I might have made one or two mistakes, early on making adjustments. And the way Ellis and Rousey talked to me after that, I learned real quick. You better get it together, son.
Well, so speaking of linebacker, do y'all think Dylan Moses coming back?
Nope.
No.
I think he needs to.
Should he?
Well, here's the thing: you got to understand. For him to come back, it would be to improve his draft stock. But he has a loss of value insurance policy. So, based upon where he was projected to go before he got hurt, wherever he gets drafted, that loss of value policy is going to make up that difference and pay him a nice amount of money. So, it's not beneficial for him to come back with that loss of value policy.
Oh, okay. Teach me something.
Of London. Yeah. So, if he gets drafted in the second or the third round, because he was projected to be in the first round, so that loss of value policy kicks in and it pays him a nice amount of money to make up that difference on the money that he lost.
We got the host of the Paul Feinbaum show. I mean, Stephen N. Smith in. What's up, Steve?
Hey, how feeling? Can y'all
hear
me?
Rug behind you, man?
Yeah.
You got a rug on the wall?
Hey, man, let me tell you something, man. Hey, man. Hey, the reason Stephen is late because he was down in Miami drinking all night long, celebrating. I know he was.
Check out his Instagram.
What was you drinking?
And a snap.
Some malt liquor, some Coke 45.
Man, y'all tripping, man. Y'all tripping, man. No, man, no.
Hey, Stephen, I must say this, man. I've been on, since the playoff thing started this year. I've been checking out the interviews and stuff like that, man, from the reporters and beat reporters. And I must say, man, you've been competitive and you've been down to doing your thing, man. I have a whole respect for you, man. I'm like, when I hear that voice, it's Stephen. I'm like, this motherfucker, he's everywhere. I'm like, how the hell Stephen A. getting all these places? He ain't even got no car. I'm like, damn.
Uber to the game,
man. I just want to tell you, man, I am a fan. And I don't say that a lot, man. I'm a fan, brother. I am.
You've been doing your thing, brother, man. Proud of you for what you're doing.
Hey, Steve, I appreciate the love, man, from you.
Oh, Marvin, I thought he was about to cry. I'm like, damn.
All right,
man.
D just texted me, say he's trying to get Blake on.
Hey, okay. I guess D Cole left. I guess he went to pawn them chains.
he had to pay for his minutes to keep going on the phone call on the Zoom phone.
hey, Justin.
Hey.
So that background of Alex Leatherwood Do you not recognize that Alex Leatherwood was trying to keep Saban from crying?
For real?
Yeah. You're the only
Nah,
person to say that.
Did y'all see Nick was? He started crying.
Yeah,
He
he did.
did.
And
I'm
I've
telling
never
you, like,
seen Nick
yeah.
cry.
Like Leatherwood was trying to get him to stop.
He almost choked up a couple of years ago when Jalen won that game, the SEC championship, in that post-game interview.
I ain't gonna lie though, but that boy next to Dixon, that boy Barmore, bad dude. Bad
yeah,
dude.
woo, man, he picked it.
Hey man, well, you know what, Justin and Steven, Marvin, I don't know if you feel this way, man. The way Alabama played last night versus the way Ohio State played, it seems to me that Ohio State shouldn't have even been there.
I'll say this: Alabama was a team on a mission last night. They were ready to finish what they started. I think Ohio State came into the game. They thought they had a chance until that first play when they seen Sermon get hit, and then they realized we in the wrong place. We probably should have stayed in the Big Ten.
Yep.
That wasn't even the play, Marvin. The play was when Christian Barmore was breathing down Justin Fields' neck.
That was every play.
That was every play.
And Justin Fields got up and like, where my line at? Oh wait, I don't got one. Dang.
Yeah.
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you though. Again, Steven, that was your play. To me, the play that cemented the whole game is when Trey Sermon tried to run and they blasted him. I'm like, you know what? They ready. When I saw that, I was like, they ready.
Yeah.
Hey, but here's the crazy thing though. Ben Davis had 2 tackles.
Yes, sir.
Hey, listen. Hey, Steve.
Steve had a little tear.
As soon as it happened, I text Steve. I said, "Hey, Ben got a tackle."
Hey man, Ben, as soon as he made that tackle, Justin Fields knocks him on his ass. I'm like, come on, Ben.
Come on, Ben.
Play, he got knocked square on it. How you let his quarterback knock you on your ass?
Hey man, I'm gonna tell you something else too that I was proud of too, man. What's this kid name from Ohio State I've been hearing all week? Is it Olave?
Yeah.
Chris Olave.
He wasn't a factor. He wasn't a factor at all.
Neither was Garrett.
They had him white.
Hey, Justin.
Hey.
Blake is trying to get in, but he says something about his software won't let him in or something. Is there another way to get him in? I don't know.
Not that.
Who is it?
Blake.
Blake, your boy Blake Sims. These back. Oh man. So that Zoom link that we sent him won't work.
Blake got that Boost Mobile, man.
Yeah.
Did he borrow one of Steve's flip phones?
Yeah, I got a couple over here.
What kind of phone? He got an iPhone?
He got an iPhone. I don't know why I didn't let him in.
Did he download the app?
Yeah, he got the app. It just says that his software isn't big enough.
Software big.
Oh, he didn't erase all them naked ass pictures and he didn't put in his memory.
Yes, sir.
Tell him to delete the Pornhub file.
I know, right?
Well, D, while you were gone, Mr. Stephen M. Smith from Touchdown Alabama Magazine finally arrived as well.
Okay, what's up, my man?
What's going on?
Not much. Just happy to be around you guys.
Yes, sir.
Hey man, Steven down there doing stuff that you're gonna eventually do, man. He down there when Bama won, Steven ended up in an orgy. I'm like, God, Steven.
Oh no.
He got it in. Yeah.
And he posted it on his OnlyFans this morning. So if y'all want to check it out, go to his OnlyFans.
No.
He's giving a
I'm not in this.
Promo code Touchdown Bama.
Oh no, bro, no, man, no.
So question. And I'm asking this as a fan, Steven. So what's the goal, man? What's the goal, Steven, for you?
Goal for me? Oh man, the goal for me, one of two areas. Either A, we take this thing to either ESPN or CBS, or B, we go to the West Coast to FS1.
I got a question for you though. Are you taking me, Justin, and Steve with you?
Yeah, this part of the package deal.
I'm saying we gonna all be in the car.
Just
like
like
I already got the car.
Just like those press passes, huh?
Yeah, but see, I'm gonna have more control. I'm gonna have more control over this matter.
Okay.
I don't got no control over that matter.
Real quick, hey Steve Smith, you just got a compliment from the audience. They said that Stephen M. Smith is legit. I have to agree with you.
I appreciate that. I really do. Hey,
Yeah.
Steve Brown said it first. So if Steve Brown is a fan of mine, and I'm legit, I appreciate that.
Well, Mr. James
hey man, I watched this show night before last, man. He got so into it, one side of his glasses fogged up. I'm like, this he looking at the one side. He looking at the one side that's clear.
That's when you know he's about to unload some knowledge on us, man. When it gets like
that. You ain't say one side and fogged up.
One side.
We might have to have a part on the show where which side of Steven's glasses fogs up first.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, so Steven Duper. So how do you see Bama next year? Are we loaded? What's going on?
I see Bama good next year. The one question is going to be the future. Is it Bryce Young or is it Paul Tyson? That's the question.
Hey, you know what? Come on, man. You know
Steve,
what?
Hold on, Steve. Hold on. Before you try to knock down Paul Tyson, where did Paul Tyson go to high school, Stephen M. Smith?
He went to Trustville.
Who is his grandfather?
Paul Bear Bryant.
The Bear.
Hey man, let me tell you something, man.
No. I'm not saying that from a standpoint. I'm saying sometimes politics plays a role in what goes on.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
That was Nick.
Don't do it. Hey man,
I hope not.
I hope not. No, I'm gonna say this. The reason I'm a Nick Saban fan, not because he's winning, is because he don't let politics play a role. He put the best people on the field.
And I hope he keeps it that way.
Now, Steve, this is the reason why, guys, spring ball is going to be huge this year. Mm-hmm. Like, we need spring. Like, we really do need spring because there are so many questions that spring ball is going to be able to answer for us.
Yeah.
Right. I get it. Now, another question, because I know you got all the inside beat, Stephen. What about this new offensive coordinator, possibly O'Brien? Is he good, or what do you think?
O'Brien can run an offense. He just can't run a whole thing. It's like you can be a good coordinator, but just because you're a great coordinator don't mean you're gonna be a great head coach. So to me, I feel like where O'Brien messed up, he was trying to be the coach and the GM. Bro, you're not Belichick. Don't do that. You try to be the coach.
But I'm saying, is he gonna be good for Bama though? That's what I'm saying.
He's gonna be good for Bama, especially if Sark leave that playbook to him. Because Sark, if Sark leave that playbook on the front desk, O'Brien good to go.
Yeah, but you know what? Hold on. You say if he lead a playbook. Here's the thing I'm gonna say about that though. Everybody got access to the same plays on Madden, but every time I get on, I get my ass kicked. Okay? That don't mean nothing, man. Because I got the same plays everybody else get, but if for some reason, man, I just gave up, man. That ain't my thing.
Well, you know what? I
can call football plays in real life.
Marvin, you're just not good at Madden. That's different.
Yeah, that's a lot different.
That's different.
My hands too big, man. Like the control. Hey, listen, man. See, look, I wear double XL gloves, so when I'm holding a little bitty PlayStation control, it's hard to maneuver, man. My hands too big.
Hey, man. Hey, Marvin. I feel you, but I can't even relate. I'm still on Tecmo mode. So look,
he's still running with Bo Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay, so but here's the big question right now. How many first rounders does Bama get in this draft?
I'm going to go with 7.
You got 7?
I'm gonna go with 7.
I got 7 too.
Yeah, easy.
Because a lot of people, you got Baltimore, you got Surtain, you got Leatherwood on offense, you got Smitty, you got Najee, and you got Matt. But I'm gonna go out on the limb with 7, and I'm gonna say Dylan Moses.
Landon Dickerson too.
And Waddle. What about Waddle?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So I mean, it could be 8 or 9.
I got a bad feeling though. Them scouts gonna nitpick Waddle down to the bone.
But I think he'll be fine by the time that comes around.
That's just usual draft chatter. I mean, come draft day, man, he'll still go top 5 easy.
Hey man, I personally, y'all, I'm telling you, I think Dylan Moses. Well, until Marvin gave me the inside scoop, I thought maybe he should come back and improve his draft status. But definitely Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson should be the man next year, because honestly, to me, he ran last night. He ran better than Najee. He was running hard, bro.
He was running hard last night.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing with that is, Steve, if Brian Robinson comes back, and if Keenan Robinson comes back with him, you're looking at 7 backs in your backfield.
Yeah.
Which one of those guys is going to hit that transfer portal? Because you also got this 5-star and Kamar Wheaton in here from Texas.
Yeah, but you know what, man?
Crowded.
Brian has the experience. Brian,
he does.
You know what you're getting in Brian, and it should be his team if he comes back next year. It should be his team, because he's tested.
I would love to see a dynamic duo of Robinson and Trey Sanders. I mean, believe you me, I do. I would love to see them two, and then you throw Jace McClellan as like your change up in there.
I be forgetting Trey Sanders is still there.
Hey man, Trey Sanders ain't showed me nothing.
That's why I said I be forgetting he there.
I'm telling you, he had a good game against Mississippi State, and then the car accident happened.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Damn.
Like
this
always happens with Trey.
Blake's jumping on.
Finally,
we got him. One way or another, he's here. What's going on, Blake?
How y'all doing?
What's going on,
brother? What about yourself?
Boss
man. Good, man. How you doing?
Glad to have you on.
Man?
Yeah, man. How's everybody doing?
Man, we're good. Champs.
Yeah, happy about that for sure.
Let's see. Hey, one thing I wanted to ask guys last night, one of the biggest things that stood out to me, no matter what was thrown our way, the team responded. We lost Jordan Battle. Devontae went down. Dickerson was out. Malachi was out. Waddle was limited. It didn't matter. Talk about how we were able to pull out that victory as a team.
Hey, man, I think to me, again, when they came out of the tunnel, I saw that they were already locked in. And then what really proved to me, and I knew they were going to win, is that first hit on Trey Sermon. Not only that, you got guys going, trying to go 100% hurt like Jalen Waddle. That right there was amazing. And I think if nothing else, the team bought in just on that. You know what I'm saying? So
now to me, what I valued about this game was this was one of the first teams where the coaches getting other jobs didn't waste that team. Like, for example, the 2016 defense will always be known as the best defense, one of the best defenses in Alabama history, but because of, Lane Kiffin getting fired and the distraction of that wasted that team. And then, of course, the 2018 offense was the joyless murder ball offense, but all the coaches getting other jobs kind of wasted that team. So
yeah.
I give a lot of credit to Steve Sarkisian and Butch Jones. They stayed the course. They locked in. They stayed the course. They didn't bind all this distraction. And Steve Sarkisian was in his bag all night long. So I give the coaches respect for having their full focus.
But you know what? With me piggybacking on that one, I ain't gonna lie to you. I lost all respect in the world for Loxley for what he did when we played Clemson and he didn't have them prepared. I loved him as a coach, man. But when I saw that when he got the job, it's like he just kind of quit, and all of them, the rest of them followed suit. That was embarrassing, man. It's like they just kind of like turned their backs on Bama to me, and I didn't appreciate that.
Well, Justin, Steve, and Steve, Mr. Demarious Cole has a studio session at 8:30, so we don't have much more time with him. So any questions that y'all have for this man before he goes sting some chicks out of their underwear, you might want to give him.
Oh man.
All right, well, I got all right, Mama. All right. Hey, Mama, look. All right. Mama want to know if you can follow her on MySpace. Shit.
He said MySpace.
Tell my Dukes I ain't got MySpace no more, but I can figure something out. We'll figure something out.
No, the hell you can't. No, you're not gonna be my stepdaddy. No, hell you can't.
Oh my God.
Go to your little studio session now. Go. Mama, go back in.
Man, well, I appreciate you guys so much. I'm sorry, go ahead, man.
Yeah, Demarious, I was going to ask you, man, how much of your own personal experiences and what you've gone through in your life do you put into your work?
Man, a lot of it comes from sports and football, especially. Just knowing that it's hard work. It's not easy, man. It's still entertainment. It's still moving, and you have to get up constantly. Like right now, I can't stop. There's always something going on and something that you have to be doing. So just that hard work and that patience and knowing that you have to always practice and perfect your craft, that came a lot from sports. That taught me a lot right there. Just always getting up, getting ready to get it done, and not complaining and just getting it done and be prepared. Right. So
before you go, you got to tell the people what's next for you. You got to tell us what's coming, man. Your tour dates, new music. Give them what you got.
Yes, sir, man. 20.
Did you just say me? Mama! You talking about me? Go ahead, man.
Oh man!
Hey Steve, I was playing some of his music a little bit earlier today, real loud. Man, made my neighbor get pregnant.
Oh God,
man, and they blame me for it. D, come on, man, you got to put a warning on them songs.
I apologize.
You got to put a warning on them songs, man.
I know, right? It's getting bad out here.
They came over here mad at me.
That's crazy.
There's a baby on board. Dang, bro.
I apologize in advance. I apologize. This next project I'm getting ready to drop is gonna be even sexier. So I apologize in advance. Right now, I've been on Marvin's book right now. I've been trying to get my body right. So you know what I'm saying? I gotta make sure, this will be a little sexy. But nah, with 2020 being as crazy. Oh man. Oh.
What did Steve just roll? What did Steve just roll?
Some panties. Hey, get him off the show. Get him off.
Oh my
God. Does that remind you when you came to Biloxi?
Yes.
You were with Chris Brown then, right? And
yes, sir.
Biloxi. Yeah, Biloxi did the same thing. See, my folks
about that. It was about that same thing for sure. Oh man, but
all right, man. Hey, take care of yourself, man. Go sing.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on out here. Let me get out here because I don't want to get in trouble. Uncle Steve might try to catch me with a 1-2 combo for messing with his mom. But let me get on out of here. I love y'all. I'm out of here, man.
Right,
thank y'all so much, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all.
Oh man, that's what's up.
That wasn't what's up.
Well, while Steve recovers, we got a caller who wants to come in and ask a few questions. What's going on? Welcome to the Rock. Steve Brown. Who we got on the line?
Hi, this is Victor Orocho. How are you?
Man, great.
How are you?
Hey, I just want to say congratulations to Alabama. I know you got the whole crew on there. Congratulations for another national championship. And if it wasn't, first of all, I don't think Ohio State should have been there, number one. Number two, I think you still would have beat whoever was there, but I just don't think Ohio State or Notre Dame should have been there. And number three, if it wasn't for those unlikely mistakes that Alabama made early, they would have blown them out by like 70.
Easy.
Any thoughts?
I believe that. I'm with that. I'm with that all day. And I think Marvin and again, we were texting or DMing each other as far as how good the defense looked. And as soon as I hit send, or if he hit send, they scored a touchdown. But yeah, they looked pretty good early on. They really did.
Yeah, I mean, it was they were unstoppable. Like they didn't phase them with the mistakes or anything. And then the point being is they did score off of 2 touchdowns off of turnovers, yet they still came down and dominated. I mean, that's amazing. So if you just take those turnovers happen. To score 14 points off of turnovers is a lot. The game would have been crushed. They would have killed them even more than they did. That's my point.
You know what else I saw? And I'm gonna give you some else fluent. You know what else I saw? When the guy stripped our quarterback and he made the fumble. Did you notice how he jumped up and he was like, oh, we got a turnover. Next play. Like it didn't seem like it fazed him at all. It was like, oh well, we're gonna beat the crap out of y'all anyway. And I was like, I was loving that too.
Hey, that was for sure. But did you hear that Saban coached him mentally to get out of that? I mean, Constant, I'm sure you know it better than any of us. I don't know who's on the phone. I'm on the phone, but they said that Saban, he's still a kid. Don't forget that. He did exactly what you said, unfazed. He was a gladiator. I even tweeted that out. But they also mentioned how Saban had to coach him up because there was times when Mac Jones would make a mistake, he would get too down on himself. He was fired up. He had to control that emotion. So he kind of got coached that way, and he did a hell of a job.
Well, one of the things about it, playing quarterback, it's a difficult position, but we got Blake on, so I'm gonna let Blake address that.
Yeah, we have one of the best quarterbacks in Alabama history on the with us, Victor, Mr. Blake Sims. How he set several records for us, guided us to our first playoff appearance, and also has 2 rings. So if you got a question about the quarterback position, he is the man to ask.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing that you could create great talent, but if mentally you're not there, you can be as a defensive back, you got beat for a touchdown. You got to forget it. You got to have a short memory. Being a quarterback is difficult as a young kid.
Yeah, you gotta have a short-term memory when it comes to playing any position on the field. It doesn't matter if it's quarterback, if it's kicker, if it's center or whatever. And I think one thing that Bama showed that we had leaders. Like we really didn't. Yeah, you gotta have coaches, but it showed that the leaders on that team controlled that team because when Devontae Smith got hurt, I can say right now a lot of fans got scared. But Mac Jones and Dylan Mosley and other leaders kept that team together, and you could tell, like you said, when they came out of the tunnel, they had one purpose. They was doing it for players that got hurt that were able to play in the game. It was just a brotherhood. Everybody wanted to do it for each other. And Mac Jones, he understood. He learned from Jalen, he learned from Tua. And when you got guys ahead of you like that, sometimes the coaches got to say one thing for you to bounce back in line.
Well, Blake, let me ask you this, Blake. How easy is his job when he has the type of weapons that he has?
Oh, it's easy. I mean,
hold on. Or how difficult is it considering you have to spread the wealth with all those weapons?
Yeah, but it's not the pros.
Yeah, it's not the pros, but you get graded by the pros by how you play in college. And
yeah, I know. You're not going to have a $10 million guy. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I was just gonna say that when Mac Jones, this is his first year playing, so he had to come in there. He had to earn the guy's trust. He had to come in there and show them that that there's not gonna be a beat missed from what happened last year. And he came in and did that. I see him working in the summer. How hard he worked in the summer, I could tell that he was gonna have a good year. Before the season even started, I was tweeting that I believe in Mac Jones. You know, when you got guys that like when I had Mark Cooper, knowing that Mark Cooper's my first read, that gives me a lot more confidence when I get in the game because I know I got somebody that's going to be wide open. And then I had Christian Jones and DeAndre White too, and I knew they had my back also. And you know, it's just all about being at one accord and being there for each other.
Well, you know what, Blake? I want to say this too, man. I want to harp on something you said. You said each position has to have a short-term memory, and that is so true. But how about when I was in high school, I kept getting the same memory because I kept getting burned. So they just
right.
So yeah, they made me remember. Every time I locked up with a wide receiver, he made me remember some shit. So yeah.
So what you saying is, Steve, you was that dude when you came on the field, everybody on the offense started pointing to you. Hey, he out here! He out here!
Hey, look, hey man, and they knew it was me. Because look, the coach didn't even give me a number. I had an alphabet.
Right. And then you could just tell, like, another good point to put out there on the coaches and, you know, even the players. And, you know, big dog, like, you know, when you were starting at safety, you know, you had the youngest up under you. You had the underclass up under you. Had to teach them for just in case you got hurt. They was prepared and they knew what they had to do. So I want to give big ups to the other underclassmen last night because they stepped up in a lot of positions.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of
you guys have second, maybe even third string players. This is Victor, and that could probably start in another D1 in another big school. You guys got a great. Congratulations. I mean, that's the number one piece, but I think it was just globally. It's interesting as you guys talk about your quarterback coach that it's you could tell because you know from my perspective, Bama's always. I relate them to defense. You know what I mean? And they've become such an offensive powerhouse now that it's been an impressive change, especially for a Saban type coach.
Yeah, last night just showed me I'll be smiling for the next decade.
Oh yeah,
Now Blake, the question, another question that came up. Ohio State shouldn't have been there, but realistically, who could have been there? Steve,
exactly.
No, it's not about. Hey, wait, whoa! It's not about who, right? Or who better. They just didn't deserve to be in it. You got to be in it to win it. Period. Right. So This is Victor. I just feel that Texas A&M or someone else should have got a shot in there and not going 6-0 and getting in there. And that's why this was probably the most, particularly because of you guys, Justin and Constance, that I really rooted for Alabama. But I rooted for them to crush them because they had no right playing in that championship. They didn't deserve the right to be in the fight. That's all I'm saying. So you could have beat Texas A&M 70-0, and it is what it is. I would have lived with it. But I wanted Ohio State to be crushed. There was no reason them nor Notre Dame should have been in it.
Right. Well, we can't compare nobody to Bama, man, because Bama's on another level.
I just noticed something. Are you calling from a 305 number?
My prepaid minute's about to end, so I got another minute left.
No, I'm just saying because I'm saying if that's you calling from a 305 area code, we coming for you next year. You know that, right? Miami, is that? Yeah, I see that 305.
We're stayed at his house.
First of all, so we're clear, you always come for us because your starting defensive secondary, most of them are from Florida.
Yep.
Not most of them, all of them.
All of them.
Okay, well, I knew there was too many Bama guys, so I figured I was safer to say most. Because I wasn't sure if it was all of them, but I knew I had at least 3. That's all I needed. And that's a lot of players for one state.
No doubt.
To start on a national undefeated team. I'm sorry?
They like to come play for the best.
That's right.
Hey, it is what it is, man. That doesn't everybody. Hey, I mean, they all, and you want to play against the best, right? I'm sure Bama wants to play always against the best.
So why the hell are we playing Miami next year? Shit.
Right? That's funny. Because we got a short-term memory. They think you're still on the team.
Blake, I got a question for you though, Blake.
All right.
Y'all had some memorable games against LSU.
Yes.
What was your favorite moment from that Alabama LSU series from when you were in school? Because I can think back to TJ catching the little dump pass and going to score. So many memories. So what was it for you?
I gotta go with mine, man. The touchdown pass, the fade route, the pick fade to DeAndre White. Cause I think that year a lot of people doubted us. They thought that Alabama was falling off because we had lost a lot of first round picks, and we dominated a lot that year. And everybody thought that was gonna be the time, because everybody wanted to knock us off, man, because they got tired of us being number one and winning all these national championship games. And I think that's when we showed our identity. That's when we created our identity, and we showed that everybody who we was. And that touchdown pass showed that a lot of people what our offense can do as well with Lane Kiffin.
I want to pick.
But Blake, let me say this too, man. I'm gonna say I gotta go. One thing that I really loved about the way you played was your scrambling ability. Now you had a rocket arm, but what made me become a big fan was when you scrambled and you were like headed out of bounds, and they think the play is over. You take another 20 yards. I thought that was like off the chain. I tried that on PlayStation. Got me damn in.
Oh man, I give all that credit to Michael Vick, man. I give all the credit to Michael Vick, man.
Definitely channeled him a lot.
Man. Michael Vick and Vic Young. I don't know if y'all remember when the Texas and USC they played each other in the national championship. And when Vince Young had ran that touchdown at the end to win the game, that's how I felt when we played Auburn. And I scored the winning touchdown.
Man, I was about to ask about that game, brother. That is definitely a career game. Can you talk a little bit about that, about the atmosphere in Bryant-Denny Stadium?
We crowd surf Blake. We crowd surf Blake that day.
Yeah. That game was big, man, because a lot of our players was hurt, and a lot of people didn't know that Cooper had missed that game before the Auburn game because he had a knee injury from Mississippi State, and so we was kind of trying to figure out when we was preparing for the game. We was trying to see what we could do if Coop couldn't play, if he was able to perform the way he needed to. And, just after I throw my third pick, man, everybody was just like, what you going to do? Are you going to go in there and then take over the game like you're supposed to? And, man, when everybody says every athlete has a time when they reach that tunnel vision, I think that was my time I reached my tunnel vision. I had nothing but tunnel vision. I couldn't hear nobody in the stadium. All I could see was crimson. And I just, my team had my back, and we just went and got it.
Now, Blake, I got to ask this question because you brought up a lot of good points here. You had Lane Kiffin as the offensive coordinator to where if anything went wrong, Kiffin would be like, son, look at me. I got you. Look at me. How important is it for a quarterback to have that offensive coordinator or that play caller that really understands him? Because just like you had that with Kiffin, I feel like Mac has that with Sarkisian.
Yeah, it all goes with the communication. The relationship the quarterback and the coach have with each other, and just really being comfortable to talk to each other about a lot of things. And that's the great thing that everybody don't understand about Coach Saban. Like, when he comes and visits your house, like, he don't care if you in the biggest trenches of the world, the baddest neighborhood, the best looking neighborhoods. He wants to go in your home. He wants to sit in your home, talk to you, so he can see how he can coach you. Because if you're not a player, if you're a player that don't like to be yelled at, I'm not gonna yell at you because I'm not gonna get the best out of you. And the only way you learn that is by learning the player. And that's what Coach Saban do good. And I think that's what Coach Saban teaches his coaches. Because I could say a lot of coaches done left Alabama that's going to other schools doing big things.
But when is one of them gonna steal me?
Hey, Blake, we got a question from the audience. It's actually from Nudie. He wants me to ask you about the summer camp when y'all killed everybody in Bama ball.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. Everybody don't know, but like even Tyron Matthews was there, the Honey Badger. He was there. But Nudie, Jared Williams, all of us was on the team, and we went out there and we went crazy, man. I threw like Nudie a 60-yard bomb, and I never like seen somebody move at Nudie's size. And just to see his ability and everything, when he went up to get that ball, I was like, yeah. I think me and Saban looked at him the same time. It was like, yeah, we about to win us a couple of championships.
That's what's up, man. Kind of sticking with you, man. We've been talking about how everyone had to wait their turn and what a great story that was. But you did that way before these guys came on board. I'd like you to dive into your journey. You know, you had to face doubts, waiting, and then Jake Coker comes in. Yet you overcame all of that and set all these records. Can you talk about your journey?
We always said, you know, be prepared when your number's called. And, you know, I had a lot of ups and downs, but one thing we knew how to do at Alabama was overcome adversity. And, you know, growing up, my family always said your character is everything. And I always walk around, just show love to everybody. And by me doing that, you know, I let God, I never ask no questions. I let God move my feet and my hands to the best that he could, and gave him the glory, win or lose. And
yeah,
I had great teammates, you know, Nudie. He was a great example that kept me going when I wanted to give up. He kept me going. Jake Coker, Jared Williams. I can give you a lot of names that he gave me the courage to keep going. And my main thing, I wanted to be on the field with the guys that I came in with. I want to get out there and play with them at least once. And, you know, I always knew I had the ability. I knew I could go out there and get it. I knew I just had to end the chapter the right way. And I worked my tail off, man. I feel like I believed everything. I deserve everything that I have received at this point in my life, and I can't complain about nothing.
What you say, Nudie? You said I was your role model growing up. That's the reason why you chose number 45 when you got to Alabama. Oh, man. Thank you, Nudie, for the love, brother. I appreciate But Blake, I got a question for you, though. Okay. Lane Kiffin is quite the character. So please tell me, what was it like playing for Lane Kiffin? Because, you know, when he calls certain plays, he's over there with his hands up. Lane is on 100 at all times. What was that like playing for him?
Man, it was fun, man. I think he was able to make the transition of what was happening at that time in Alabama. He was able to, you know, help Coach Saban transition as well. And his connection with the players was big, man, and wanting to play with him and seeing what he was capable of doing, and us being in that meeting room, watching him with Matt and Reggie Bush, seeing the things that they was doing with him. And then we know we had Kenyon Drake, somebody that kind of symbolized Reggie Bush. So it was just, when you see a coach come in and he backs up what he's saying, it was like you just got to ride with him, man. It was good to be there. And me and Coach Kiffin had a great relationship. You know, he almost got me to go to Tennessee back in 2010. So when I first see him walking our complex, I was smiling already because I knew what we can do.
Well, you know, one thing I will say, man, when you referenced the name Kenyon Drake, I will say Drake is one of the most underrated running backs to come out of Alabama. People don't give him enough credit for the body of work and the things he did while he was at Alabama. When I say had all of the skills, man, he was my favorite running back, hands down, man. So I just wish people would give him more credit than they give him.
I'm gonna say this, Marvin. I'm gonna say this right now. When Kenyon got hurt against Ole Miss, I was at that game in 2014. All I heard was this loud, painful scream. And I'm like, who is that? And when I saw Kenyon, I was like, God, no. Anybody but him. Anybody but him.
Yeah.
That
Right.
was awful, man.
Right. Yeah, when it happened, you know, it was like we was already willing to go out there and beat their tail, you know, that happened, but we came out there with a purpose. But when that happened, man, we was, you know how it is when you hurt a brother or hurt a member in the family, man, we want to see blood. It's time to knock helmets loose and everything.
Man, how satisfying was last night's victory after that defeat to Ohio State back in 2014? I've been salty since then, so I know you had to be a little salty, Blake. How satisfying was this victory to you?
Oh man, it was very satisfying. I had put something on IG. I was hoping that because I had heard what Cordell had said something to Coach Saban, and one of the linebackers, number 43, had put something on Twitter. So I was talking on my social media and hoping that one of them talked to me. I had put on my social media that if any of their players from 2014 had a problem, we can meet up anywhere and suit up because Amari ready, Derek ready.
Yes.
Everybody's ready, man. You know, we can all still go, but it was very satisfying for me, man, because I was tired of hearing them Ohio State players, fans, or whatever, just speak about how better they was of us and how they deserve to be here and deserve to be there, man. So I think that shows that they don't deserve to be in the championship no more.
Well, Blake, if y'all ever make that happen and y'all suit up and y'all need a good middle linebacker to take some stats, call me.
No way.
I will.
Along with that,
we need you, man.
No, you heard me say take stats, right?
I'm just saying, Blake.
I'm gonna tell Newton to give up the 45 too.
Blake, if you need somebody commentating that game, call me.
Oh yeah, we got you. We're gonna put you up in the booth and everything.
I'll be your strength coach, so I got you in that place too. I'm there. I'll be your Cochran.
we can make D Cole the CEO.
That works.
Hey, that's
we can make him the general manager or something. Or the head coach that don't really say much. Just answer the questions.
We got a question from the audience. Now that they have COVID-19 protocol and experience dealing with it, do you guys foresee spring and fall have close to normal tackling reps?
See it?
I think they'll learn how to, handle the situation and give a better event and a better outcome for the fans, so we can be more excited for the games.
I think this is going to be good for the athletic directors in the SEC and also Commissioner Greg Sankey. Having a full off season to now deal with this. We saw how Sankey did. This past year, he waited until when everybody else made their move, then he made his move, and we were able to have a season in the SEC. So I think having a full off season to kind of project some things, I think would be good for the spring.
Yeah, because they about to have a COVID outbreak like crazy in Tuscaloosa after last night. Man, they're gonna need some time to let that die down.
Man,
right.
hey, for real, Marvin, my homeboy Maxwell was getting crown surfed off through that thing.
There ain't no way I would have been out there.
Bruh, my homie Maxwell was so drunk, he was like, "Stay, I'm about to die. We did it." Hey, he got halfway by CBS and passed out.
But no matter the championship game, I can look back over the years. I've never seen that many people on the strip ever.
Mm-mm.
For real,
ever.
No doubt. But Blake, my question for you, Blake, if you're still on here, is just there are so many times when assistant coaches leave Alabama to take other jobs, and you have fans that get upset. You got people in the media that are like, what's going on here? But when I talk to players, it's like the players be so calm. Like they be like, man, Coach Nick has been here for 14 years, man. He got us. He got our back. We ain't sweating that. Coach Saban's still here. So, like, what's built that calmness over the years that it don't matter if a coach come and go, Coach Saban got our best interest. He going to get the right man in there. What keeps the players so calm about that?
Because we got a system. Yeah, we have a system, like, buy into the system. You know, even when Marvin was there, they had a standard. And when you was a freshman, it don't matter if you was a 5-star, 4-star, or whatever. We don't care what you did in high school. You know, so we appreciate you making yourself available so we can come get you. You can come here and make us better. But if you don't want to buy into the system and what we got going on and what we need to do to make sure we the one holding up that trophy at the end of the year, that's what you need to do. And if you don't want to get with it, get gone, or you're going to get lost in the system. And you can't complain about it. You can't go against it because we on our way to our 19th championship.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So when you got it like that, you buy into it, you got to keep going. It's pretty much the phase is if it's not broke, don't fix it.
You know, a lot of people don't understand that. So, like, when I came to Alabama, the last championship was in 92, and then the probation came, and my class was the second full recruiting class after the probation. So it was a lot of pressure put on us to get things back to the way it was. You know, my sophomore year, we win the SEC championship. We should have won the national championship, but, you know, some things happened. You know, we dropped the ball. We should have won it then. But again, we knew when we came in, hey, this is the expectation. You know, we're not here just for fun. You got a job to do, now go do it.
Right.
So. Right. And then at the same time, like, man, I say it all the time, man. Coach Saban got guys that was hungry, that they was gonna run through that wall for him. You know, like Nigel Harris, the man was living in a car. He was hungry for greatness. And then he comes to Bama, you see.
Yeah.
Like you got guys like that coming in, and then you got guys that come into Bama that has everything made for them. And then when they sit down, they learn and they understand. Like I said earlier, like me as a quarterback, if I'm gonna yell at my 5 linemen, I got to make sure when I'm getting on them and I'm tearing them a new one, I got to make sure I'm still making them better. I'm making sure they still gonna perform at the best of their level. So like. That's what Coach Saban does, and understand that this is the system. You can either buy into it, or get gone. And if you leave, we're just gonna beat you again. We're just gonna beat you.
Hey,
so Blake, it's like,
Like you know what one of my favorite things, my one of my coaches used to say at Alabama. You can't win with nice guys, and it's so true. They didn't recruit nice guys. He's like, you don't win with nice guys. You need some people with some about them. And that's what Saban does as well. He goes and finds people who got something about them.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, Marvin. You gotta have some crazy. You go back to that You go back to that 2016 defense. Tony Brown was crazy.
Yeah,
you cannot win in football with nice guys.
I'm telling you,
Tony. You had Dante Hightower.
Yes,
you had Rolando McClain. Like, you had them guys that like because every camp is like. Every camp, you like, okay, you know who our guys is, you know who our superstars is, but it's like that first camp, okay, who's gonna get the ball rolling? Who's gonna wake everybody up? And when I was there, from the 2019, even when I used to come in as a recruit, it was always Rowe. It was Rolando McClain. Then it became Dante Hightower, and then C.J. Mosley walked in with me, and when he smacked Mark Ingram. That's when he became the superstar he is. So it's just like everybody coming in, buying to the system and going what it is, you know, because, like, I mean, we talk junk to them still, you know, because, like, we be like, y'all get y'all nail broken, y'all put it on social media. But back then, man, dudes had broken ankles. Like, your bone be hanging out outside of your skin, and you still out there trying to practice because, you know, the guy behind you could take your place.
Right. Of course, you know, we live in this generation. We live in this generation of the transfer portal. If anybody faces a little bit of adversity, they're gone. If they have to wait their turn, they're gone. our big three, Mac, Najee, Smitty, all faced adversity. They all had to wait their turn, and of course, you did as well. What is that? What kind of message does that send to young players coming up with people like you who overcame adversity? People like Mac, Najee, and Smitty facing adversity, waiting their turn, and then all of a sudden having things like this happen.
I say it just says like, trusting the process. Trusting the process, like when Coach Day had mentioned last night in the game that Coach Saban tries to get Mac to forget his plays and move on to the next, is that you got to trust the process. At the beginning, possibly Mac wanted to be the best quarterback to ever play at Alabama, and he wanted the position so bad that when he made plays, he'll let that weight on him instead of understand you come out and do what you're supposed to do because you already been doing it. And that's why you're here at Alabama to do what you need to do. And when you just let the game come to you, a lot of great things can happen just as it did for him.
No doubt. Speaking of Mac, do you guys feel like that he's coming back or is he going to the NFL?
Come back for what? To do what? To make y'all happy? Man, please. My bags would have been packed before I got on the plane to go to the championship.
I'm taking my butt to the league. I'm taking my butt to the league.
If I was Mac Jones, I would have already talked to my landlord. I would have talked to my residence wouldn't even be in Alabama no more.
That's why I say all my stuff would have been packed before I got on that flight to Miami.
Hey.
Bro went from being doubted to being a 4,000-yard passer. I'm going to the NFL.
Man, and he dropped 496 on him last night. Man, please, my stuff would have been packed. I wouldn't even.
I'm telling you, got on the plane to go back. I'm on the phone with Sean Payton right now, saying Drew Brees done for this. You call me, Sean Payton. Call me.
Man, he made some money last night. Two of his receivers are gone, but then he's still driving down the field and scoring TDs. Man, that's huge. I think all doubts were erased for him last night. And that's just
I mean, when you got a lot of guys that name is overshadowing you, it's like a lot of people don't appreciate your worth. You know what I'm saying? And how much you put into the game, and they don't understand it. And that sucks for certain people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I hate the fact that Devontae got hurt and a lot of our big name players got hurt, but that time was set for Mac. That was for his time to be set because he worked his butt off, man. I seen it myself. I seen it with my own two eyes. He cheered Jalen on. He cheered Tua on. And even when this summer, nobody was talking about Mac. Everybody was Bryce Young this, Bryce Young that. Nobody never really spoke of his name until he hit his first 400-yard game. So I think that moment at the end of the game when the players got hurt, not saying that I wish they did or anything, but I'm glad how it happened. I'm glad that he got his opportunity to show who he is and how big of a role he played on his team.
He could do it no matter who he got catching balls.
Two receivers I'm the most proud of from that game. Number one, Slade Bolden. My boy got his first career touchdown. I was proud of Slade. I was real proud of Slade. I was proud of White Chocolate. He did his thing. I was proud of Slade.
Yes,
Number two, Zigzag. Xavier Williams. Zigzag had 2 catches last night, and Zigzag is basically a taller version of our Darius Stewart. I really like Zigzag. Ziggy Williams is somebody. As long as he continues to develop, he is somebody to watch.
We're gonna be small in the next 5 years, man.
What are y'all's take on Waddle playing last night? It was amazing. Despite the pain and the discomfort, he was still out there trying to go for his boys. Do you feel like that was a good decision for him? Because he was actually drawing some criticism online last night. A.J. Brown of the Tennessee Titans was sitting there just disgusted that he was still in the game and mad at the coaches for even letting him consider coming out on the field. But from your perspective, Marvin, Steven, and Blake, how did y'all feel about Waddle playing?
I'll say they won't understand because they didn't go to Alabama, and that's the best way I could put it. You won't understand unless you have been in that locker room You have been through the 110s. You have shedded blood, tears, man. Like, I can put on that jersey, I'm getting out there. Like, the only thing stop me from getting there is that deathbed.
Well, to piggyback on that, Blake, he knew that was going to be his last game at Alabama. So he wanted to play in his last game, which was a national championship game. I mean, who wouldn't want to play in a national championship game as their last game of college? You know, these haters out here who got something to say ain't played for nothing in college. They probably didn't go to a real bowl game. They probably was in Shreveport somewhere playing on December 23rd. So they don't know what it is. Okay? They don't understand. They never been to a real bowl. So until you play in a BCS bowl or into one of these playoff games, it's a completely different environment. Because again, my freshman year in 98, we went to the Music City Bowl, froze our asses off, and we made a decision. We wasn't doing that no more. Next year, we in the BCS. Boom. It takes a mental aspect to reach a game of that magnitude. And everybody who has any opportunity to play wants to play. And for those haters, again, they was in Shreveport somewhere in Arizona at the Cactus Bowl. They don't know what it is.
Jalen Water wanted this game, y'all. Jalen Water wanted this game. He wanted to be out there. And I kind of had a gut feeling that he would play. My whole thing was if he got up that morning and he felt good, but he would go out there. But along with Waddle, I mean, how about the boy Landon Dickerson, though? Tore his knee up against Florida and was begging Coach and dressed out, took snaps, got in the game, the 2 snaps to end it, and he's the one carrying Coach Saban off the field. I mean, Landon Dickerson's only been here for 2 years, but I declare it feels like he's been here for 4.
Steve, I was praying he didn't drop Coach. I said, please don't let that knee go out and drop Coach.
I promise you. Marvin, I thought the same thing. But I'm just saying, he's been here for 2 years, but I declare it feels like he's been here for 4 years because of how quickly Landon took to the game. Like, Landon took to the Bama system so fast, and his personality, it jailed so quick to where you're thinking, dog, he a 4-year guy, but he wasn't a 4-year guy, but it felt like he was.
Right.
Yeah.
How special was it for him to take the last snap? That probably had been one of the best moments I've ever seen.
Dude, like, I'm watching this on the field as it happens. The moment Landon Dickerson stepped on the field, Mac Jones' smile was as big as the Kool-Aid Man. And then Chris Owens is right beside him going, bro, you coming in? Let's go then. Like, Chris Owens was going crazy. The whole sideline went crazy. Because Landon Dickerson was a team captain. He was an Iron Man. He was a unanimous All-American for a reason. The moment he became the center in 2019, the middle of 2019, he brought something to that offensive line that was not there in 2018. Like, Dickerson brought a passion, he brought an intensity, he brought a physicality, but most importantly, he brought a personality to that offensive line that was not there in 2018. So for him to have that moment, he deserved that.
No doubt. Speaking of personality, if y'all know that haven't been following this on Instagram and other places, Blake is a part of a little ongoing series with Coach Jones. Blake,
my boy Christian Jones!
My brother, that has to be some of the most hilarious stuff I've ever seen. What inspired that? And is this ever going to be on TV?
Now, we wanted to be on TV for sure, man. And it just inspired because we just see a lot of these Instagram people really just coming with skits and stuff. So we was like, man, we have we had some of the best comedians on our team. So we was like, why don't we just recreate moments that's very true? Because we knew a lot of people always wonder like what goes on inside the walls of Alabama. So like we just start giving the real cold cut of what happens. I mean, just how we talking in the videos, just how the coaches talk to us.
Now, Blake, to me, Christian Jones is one of the more underrated receivers to come through this program because I mean the guy can return kicks, the guy can return punts, the guy played wide receiver, the guy was tougher than what most people gave him credit for. I mean, what was the biggest joy about playing with Christian?
His personality, man, the way he walked in the room and he made the room smile, you know, and then the guys was out there all willing to fight behind him. But his creative, like the way he created his in space, the way he was able to get to the end zone, the passion he played with, you know, the way he was his ability to create his open to get open in his routes and just him. There's a lot of things that he did. You know, when he seen players down, he was one of the players that came to me when we was playing Auburn, and I threw my third pick. He was one of the guys that came and picked me up. He didn't speak a lot, but when he spoke, you know, everybody listened.
That's what's up. So, you know, you talked about how people kind of helped you along the way and invested into you, poured into you. Who was that guy that you or guys that you really poured into for that next generation when you left?
I would say Jake Coker, Cam Sims, Calvin Ridley. It was a lot of guys. You know, I can't really sit here and just handpick of like who I did. You know, like Hootie Jones, Cam Robinson, Jaren Reed. It's a lot of guys, man. We just all had you know, when it all starts at the recruiting. You know, when they come in as a recruit and after they game, they get the opportunity to come hang with us and stuff. The bond starts there, man. It don't stop after we leave Bama.
Yeah, absolutely right. Well, before we move into a closing part of our show, Blake, what was your favorite moment as an Alabama player?
My favorite moment, man, is when we lost so it was the year that we lost to LSU. I think it was like 9-6. And I think LeBron James came to the game, and it was like a very packed game. But the way that we came back in the national championship in the backyard of LSU and beat them, and for them to never cross the 50-yard line, I thought that was very big.
That was probably the most awesome thing I've ever seen. Question real quick for the audience. Blake, what was your experience like in the AAF?
It was good. It was good. I wish that was a lead. That was one lead that I was a part of. I wish that could have, you know, continued. The fans in Birmingham, they really seemed to be enjoying it. Mm-hmm. They came out and you know, they had all the Bama players back. They was there all the time, and it was good. The system was going good. It's just a couple of things that happened that a lot of people don't really know the truth about, and we'll never know. Only the people upstairs will know. But I wish it could have kept going. It would have helped a lot of players. But I'm glad, and I hope they come back out with the XFL.
Oh, no doubt. All right, moving on to the closing part. Marvin, can you tell us a little bit about what the book is doing, how we can get our hands on it, and then just some testimonials maybe from some of your satisfied customers?
The book is doing what the book does as usual. You know, we're moving close to 1,000 copies being sold, and I'm thankful to everybody. And if you follow me on Instagram, Constant45, on Facebook, you regularly see people posting pictures of themselves with the book, and I'll share it as well. And I mean, it's been nothing but a blessing, man. And as we have expanded our product line, the 40 Plus Strong product line, to, you know, workout gloves, straps, weightlifting belt, anything you need for working out, 40 Plus Strong got you covered. So, you know, I just want to thank the people again for their support. You know, and again, if you need anything, 40PLUSSTRNG, 40plusstrong.com. We got you covered.
And great things happening there. I'm excited about what I learned every week, and I expect a 2021 even better success for it. So looking forward to seeing that. A couple of program notes. The Tyler Turner Show is still every Monday night at 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern. In-depth analysis, recruiting news, and talent evaluation. If that is your speed, tune in. Thursday nights, the Jones and Arocho Show. That's at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern. There are two guys from Jersey talking about the NFL, the Giants, college football, NBA, and whatever they want to argue about. pretty good stuff, pretty hilarious stuff. So check them out. Marvin, what do you have on board for us next week?
We're gonna figure that out. There's no games, man. I mean, I guess we gotta talk about recruiting and other stuff. So I'm gonna have to call Steve and like, hey man, I need some insight on some recruiting, and we're gonna have something.
Well, we could always get that pickup game that Blake was talking about earlier between the 2014 Alabama squad and the Ohio State squad and film that.
The way my knees set up, yeah, that's all I'll be doing is on the camera.
If Jalen Waddle can do it, you can give us a good couple of plays or so.
Man, Jalen is in his 20s. I am 41 years old. I am not going out there.
Man, love to see it though. All right, guys, before we head out, if you could give us a little bit about what's going on next for you guys, social media, contact, and a few closing words. Stephen N. Smith, we'll start with you.
Well, first and foremost, I'm happy to be back in the state of Alabama. Happy to be back home. Excited about tomorrow's show. In my own words at 6 p.m. Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Got a lot to talk about on tomorrow's show, from the recap of this game, the coaching moves, how proud I am of the performance of Mac Jones, how the defense stepped up, in moments. What could we be looking at in terms of the NFL draft coming up soon? So just a lot of things for Wednesday's show to get excited about. They can find me on Twitter at Coaching M. Smith on Twitter. They can find me on Facebook, Stephen M. Smith on Facebook. And pretty soon, I got to get Blake on the show. Blake, I got to get you down the show, man.
Well, you just missed him. He decided his time was up, or his minutes ran out.
Oh, well,
but
you know what? I'll text him. Oh, also, one last thing. I am grateful that you, Justin, and Marvin have made me a part of the show. I appreciate the both of you guys, man. I missed out on you guys a couple of times. I know, Justin, you said the last time I missed, Steve pulled a gun out. So, so I'm happy.
Yeah, man.
I'm happy to be back, so I can bring back some civilized manner for Steve.
We gotta have somebody to rein it in,
But in all seriousness, though, this is an absolute joy. I enjoy doing this with you guys.
Well, Steve, you might as well get ready. You know why?
Why?
Because football season is over. You understand what that means? There's a whole list of guests that coach and play football that weren't available during the season.
Yes, sir.
But they're free now.
They are.
So we about to pull out the big guns now, baby. Because hey, listen, I understand during football season, Tuesday nights is rough for them if they coaching or if they playing. Yeah. Oh, but they free now. I've got a special list of guests that I've had on hold. A couple of them still playing in the playoffs right now.
Yeah.
But a lot of them, they done now. A lot of these coaches, they done now.
Yep.
We really about to get into the meat of this thing now.
Yes, sir. Matter of fact, for those who are still listening, I'll throw out a couple of names of folks that I have talked to. Mr. Ryan Anderson, one of the best linebackers we've seen here in recent years.
Oh, the angry man. The angry man.
He wants to come on.
Hey, Justin, I'll see you, Ryan Anderson, and I got DJ Fluker waiting as soon as they win the Super Bowl.
Okay, I'll see your DJ Fluker and give you TJ Yeldon.
I'll raise your TJ Yeldon, and I got Deshae Townsend on deck as well.
Well, if we're going to stick with defensive backs, I'm going to go Vinny Sinceri.
So basically, Steve, you see the gist of this. We got some high-powered guests coming.
I see it.
We got some high-powered guests coming.
You don't have to sit there and one-up each other. I see it.
And we're not one up, man. We're just letting our folks let them know what to expect in 2021, because this off season it's about to be off, about to be creative. We're gonna go national. We'll be on the Paul Feinbaum show.
Absolutely. And as y'all go national, I will be the friendly floating spirit here.
Yeah. You're not the friendly floating spirit, Steven. Honestly, I'll say this, man. You bring something to this show that not many people can bring, because not everybody is as well versed as you are in football especially Alabama football. The depth of knowledge that you bring, it's something that very few people on this planet can do. The way you recall names and recall facts, man, that is a powerful thing. Because like I said, most people can't do that, man. So that's a powerful thing. So I get it. You got Justin who's leading the way, and you got me and Steve over here cracking jokes and just having fun. And then we got you bringing the facts, and it all just works, man, and it works well.
Hey, I love Steve, man. Steve said one side of his glands be fogged up and he be seeing out the other side.
I can definitely tell you, man. This
I'm
show
for real.
is...
I'm gonna create a segment on the show called "When Steven's Lens Fogs."
Hey, we're actually going to discuss coming up what we're going to do in this next year. So yeah, we're going to have a little call and we're going to put some ideas together. It's going to be a fun year. But yeah, we definitely appreciate you coming on this entire time. We consider you part of our team, part of our family, man. It's been a great ride, especially during this football season. So we definitely appreciate you and definitely appreciate you providing knowledge. That I always say this show is 90% nonsense and 10% sports knowledge. Well, you're that 10% that comes in and makes this a sports show.
You wouldn't think that me and Steve Brown actually know anything about football because I was cracking jokes, but we know
Yeah, but hey, to wrap this up on my end, I gotta give Justin a lot of credit here for this backdrop. I mean, you got Leatherwood in here, you got Dickerson. I don't know what Barmore's looking at, but you got Barmore in here. You got Nick Saban trying to hold back tears, and then you got the national championship. Like that is unbelievable. And probably the one thing that was not shown on camera was, did y'all see the epic snow angel that Thomas Fletcher made, the long snapper?
Yes.
Thomas Fletcher, the most uncoordinated long snapper I've ever seen. Thomas Fletcher's gonna belly flop in the middle of the field. And
my only question is, why he got to be wearing number 45 though?
You see that? You see Marvin? I was about to get to that. I don't know why he got that number. I don't know why. Somebody needs to call Jeff Banks and be like, that number should have been retired after Justin Fowler.
Right.
That number should have been retired.
I mean, you think about the Justin Fowlers, the Terrence Lynches, the Marvin Constance, then Fletcher, the long snapper. He doesn't even fit the same equation with us.
Well, speaking of Mr. Terrence Lynch, he will be on soon as well, along with Mr. Derek Lassick and Sherman Williams. So just a couple more.
So Marvin, to end your plight, I will put in a word with Jeff Banks and I will ask him, why in the world was Thomas Fletcher wearing 45?
Yeah, ask him that. Please let me know.
All right, before we go, I'm going to ask this one last question for each of you. If you could freeze frame a shot from this season and put it on your wall, what moment would that be? We'll start with you, Steven.
If I could freeze frame any moment from this season, what would it be? The Najee Harris hurdle over the Notre Dame defensive back. And the reason why I would freeze frame that moment, it just shows how much work Najee put in the offseason to be the best back in college football. People don't realize he trained with so many former college greats and NFL greats, whether it was in Atlanta or LA or Houston, Texas, to put himself in a situation where I'm not just going to be the best back to ever play at Alabama, but I'm going to give myself the ultimate chance to prove to the NFL draft that the running back position is still a value. So that hurdle by Najee Harris, freeze frame that, make that a Daniel Moore painting right now, because that showed all the work that Najee put in.
For me, the moment would actually have to be watching Devontae Smith win the Heisman Trophy, seeing somebody so humble, so deserving to win that award. And you see him on the field, he doesn't talk trash. He's not out there doing anything. Man, great man. That's the moment for me.
I guess for me, I'll just have a collective picture of the big three: Najee, Mac, and Devontae, just because they waited their turn. They overcame adversity. They overcame a lot of tough times, especially Mac. And they stayed in school. They didn't transfer out. They didn't do what the norm is for the majority of players these days. They stuck it out, and they ended up leaving being the best perhaps to ever play their position in the game. So that to me would be my frame shot. Well, guys, I enjoyed it. It was great. Another year down, another national championship in the books. Looking forward to what we got ahead. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
Let's go!